My name's Thomas Rafferty and I'm the owner of the Edge Cycles in West Gosford. This all started for me 20 years ago in a small shop in Kincumber, which is where the Edge Cycles originated from. I got my first job there, sweeping floors, pumping up tyres and beginning my love for bikes, being a mechanic, learning everything about the sport. And from there I started working in the shop full time after high school. That time it was located in Gosford, where we are today. The store has been here since 2007, as you know it now. And over time, I think I always knew I really wanted to own the store or have my own store of some kind. And come into 2020, end of 2020, I really knew, I think now's the time for me to get into the store and try and take ownership. And the opportunity arose early 2021, and by the middle of the year, it was basically done, and nearly 3 years to the day, August 3rd, we took over the Edge Cycles, which we have now here in Gosford. It's now very different to what you would have seen 10 years ago, even 3 years ago. It's a completely different store. We have some of the same staff that have been involved in the local industry for over 10 years. We've got some new faces as well. We've got new brands, but you know, in essence, the spirit of the Edge, how it started from Dean, who was the original owner, is the same today, and we've continued to fly that flag. And it's something that we're all really proud of, outside of myself as the business owner. Our staff, Nick and Ryan, are a great team and very invested in what we do, and we all love riding. We've all ridden different disciplines, be it BMX when we're young, been road cyclists, we're all mountain bikers now. So from taking over the business in 2021, you're talking late COVID times. We were just as I took over the business, basically the day that I took over, we were informed that we're going into the toughest restrictions that we had had. At the time, we didn't really know what this meant. We'd all been kind of working from home. We were able to go do click and collect and been managing, but there was threats that click and collect could be over for many retail businesses, which was a huge fear considering that we had just bought the business. But obviously that wasn't the case. Click and collect was still a go, and this was really the tail end of what most people are aware of is the boom in the bicycle industry, where there was nothing else you could do. A lot of people working from home. What can I do to occupy myself and my time? How do I get outdoors and not go nuts? And so bikes in particular went absolutely crazy. And so we had a really, really wild start to business. Many challenges still. Being that busy is actually quite a challenge, especially when you're new. It was just a constant stream of people lining up at the back door, trying to keep a 1.5 metre space with masks on and buying bikes. It was quite an interesting thing to see. But come into 2022, it was the party was over basically. The real world began to come back to normal very slowly, and people went back to their jobs, kids went back to school, and things started to change, and the challenges really begun from there, I think, and especially the bike industry. A lot of industries have been affected even still up till today, but we went from a market that was completely inflated and booming into something that was starting to decline somewhere towards its normal levels. So basically from then until here we are today in, quite a difficult economic time, we're probably seeing, in 2024 that the bike industry is returning to maybe pre-COVID numbers. 2017, 2018, 2019 business we're basically back to where it was, and now it's just a matter of adjusting to what that is, and it's quite different. I mean, when everyone had money and COVID was about, people were spending radical amounts of money on anything they could get their hands on. And I think we all got a little bit deluded and changed our ordering tactics and what we stocked in the showrooms. But where we are today, we're back to a bike shop, a very traditional bike shop. Family bikes is still the number one thing you sell. Every single day there's someone coming in looking for a bike under $1,000 for themselves, their kids. It's for recreation, and that's the big end of the market for consumers. But the high-end market's still there. It's just obviously slowed down a lot and it's changed. I mean, so many bikes were sold at that time that the market was really saturated, so it's quite a different business. Yeah, we are in a very interesting time with sanctioned facilities, specifically in mountain biking. It reaches out a little bit past that as well, because it's not just mountain biking as well. It's gone are the days of just a simple skate park in your community area. Now, a lot of areas you'll see pump tracks and lots of skills parks, which are a broader range of bike riding, and they can be used for scooters and skate parks. It's a very different thing. Now, we do just have a new facility down in New Minor on the peninsula. It's a massive new facility. It's amazing. But it felt like it came through under the radar, which is very odd. And then you look at places like even Ourimbah, where I live, they've had the same skate park that they got given by, it was a donation from Lake Haven, which is the same council, but obviously it was their used skate park, put in Ourimbah as, here's a skate park. Now we're 20 years later, the same skate park is there, and there is a ton of children and teenagers living in the region and families, and they've got no resource, absolutely no resource. So as good as it is to get bike parks, whether they be government sanctioned paid bike parks, which is really difficult for local government to manage, or government helping businesses establish legal bike parks as well, but just giving local government areas better facilities that reach more than just mountain bikers. It's about bike users, skateboarders and scooter users as a whole. It's something for the community, and it's a real struggle on the Central Coast, and it's upsetting because we see all over the country, we see announcements for new projects, extensions of projects, massive government grants that go into these regions. And they're seeing the potential because they're going tourism. It's going to be tourism. And, regional tourism, the Central Coast is still technically a regional area. I mean, you can't just hang your hat on the beach and go, that's it, everyone surfs, let's go check out the beach. It's like, it's not for everyone, We've got beautiful bush, natural resources here that, some people think that using them is destroying them. If people don't get to use them, they don't care about them. Once people are users of the nature and the bush, they will care. They become the custodians of the land. They're not going to let people dump or do illegal activities. They're going to see them and protect it. So it's definitely something that needs to change, and it would go a long way to helping everyone. Right. Yeah, so e-bikes. Interesting topic. You wouldn't think it's a controversial topic, but it actually is in this day and age, because with the importation of cheap Chinese e-bikes and e-scooters, which are missing a lot of safety regulations and things that stop them from being dangerous. I'll give you a quick example of something that's quite important in this instance. Is insurance companies have now contacted us, and they're basically asking, are you importing Chinese battery e-bikes or selling them or working on them? Because if you are, you need a totally different policy. If you're not, cool. But that now means, which we're going to have to do, and we've already had to do, is when customers are bringing in potentially, fire hazard bikes, we're having to tell them to take the bikes out of the shop. We can't help you. Can't have them in here, too high a risk. And, we've spoken to members of RFS that have seen these fires, and people have probably seen them in the news. They're insane. When a cheap lithium-ion battery goes up, it's really dangerous. So it's quite a big ocean, this whole e-bike thing, because there's quite a big split where you need to draw a line in when you get interested in an e-bike, what people should be looking for. And there's a distinct price gap, and people need to understand that entry-level e-bikes start at probably a few $1,000s, and anything under there is borderline, could be high risk Chinese batteries, or isn't going to be very good quality. And it's something that we deal with every day because people are getting marketed to a lot. And it's something that people need to be aware of and deal with the correct stores. We don't care where you get your bike from, but we just want to make sure you're making the right choice. Make sure you're choosing a reputable brand from a reputable dealer, and you know what you're getting into, and you're keeping yourself and your family safe. It's been a very interesting 3 years, and we're very proud of where we are today. It's been a huge amount of work to get the store to where it is now. And we love being a part of the Central Coast, and we think it's got a great future, specifically in small business and for the Edge Cycles. We're really active on social media, specifically Instagram. Our website is always up to date with our current stock and sales as well. But most importantly, come down to the store and meet the team. We've got a beautiful showroom. We've put a lot of work and time and effort to create for you guys. So definitely make sure you come and check it out.
Nice. Good run. That's good.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.